Good afternoon, all. So, last class we have discussed regarding Boolean algebra and analog signals, digital signals, okay, and universal gates. How the different logics can be implemented with the alone, NOR gate and NAND gates. They are universal gates, okay. And today we'll discuss some other topics of the fourth unit, that is about Karnaugh map. Okay, last time I have given some introduction regarding that, so I will continue the same topic with some examples. Followed by have adders and subtractors, again a very important building blocks for digital system. Followed by how flip-flops. Okay, so all these topics, as I said, very next semester you will study in detail of this. Before that, just have some information regarding those components. Okay, so they are all basic building blocks for any digital system, without which it is very difficult to design. Okay. And we'll go with K-map, Karnaugh map. Okay. So it is a graphical approach of minimizing the logical expressions, right? So the intention behind reducing the logical expression is to make my design very simple. Okay, to construct a very simple circuit, so I should have a very minimum expression, logical expression, right? So in order to do that, one method is using Boolean postulates or Boolean identities, with which to certain extent I can convert a complex logical expression into a simple one to certain extent. Okay, and you have one more method, okay, K-map. So graphical approach, I said, just following some procedures will bring down a complex logical expression to a very simple one. Okay. Apart from this also I have many more methods. We'll study later in the upcoming semesters. So we'll go with the K-map, Karnaugh map. So here the procedure is very simple. If you want to draw the K-map, first check for your logical expression how many number of inputs are there. Okay, any expression, if you just check it, suppose if the expression y is equal to a bar bc plus abd plus acb. So here, what are the unique inputs or input variables? You can check here in this expression a, b, c is there, or a bar b, c. Here it is a, b, d. Here it is a, c, b. So in all the expression, the variables are either a, or b, or c, or d. It tells you that system is having 4 inputs. System is having 4 inputs, and y is output function, right? This is how, looking at the logical expression, we can somehow we can predict how many input terminals are there for the system, or input variables. To draw the K-map, finding the number of inputs is very important, because whatever the cells, K-map cells, you are going to draw, it is directly proportional to the number of inputs. Okay, in this relation, 2 to the power of n, where n is number of inputs. If the system is having only one input, okay, then it is what? 2 to the power of 1. You should draw only 2 cells, like this. If the number of input variables are 2, then number of cells should be 4 and should draw like this. If variables are 3, 8 cells, you can present like this. If 4 cells, then total number of cells are 16. This is the first step in K-map. Draw the number of cells based on the number of input variables in the relation 2 to the power of n. Got this? First step. First you should draw proper number of cells. Okay, it is directly proportional to the number of inputs. By looking at this expression you can tell, or else sometimes they will provide you the truth table. So by looking at the truth table also you can easily say how many inputs are there, how many outputs are there. One such example is written here, this one. Okay. See here, A, B, C, they are the inputs. Y is what? Output. So inputs are what? 3. 2 to the power of 3, totally 8 combinations. Right? So 8 cells you should draw it. Okay. Once you draw the number of cells based on the number of input variables, okay, a very next step is each cell you have to fill it, okay, with the min terms or a max terms. I will define what you mean by min terms and max term, or else you can say each cell you have to fill with ones or zeros, because in digital logic, okay, every representation it has either 0 or 1, right? So each cell has to be filled with min terms or max terms, or else filled with logic 1 or logic 0. So what do you mean by min terms then? Similarly, you have a max term. So min terms are some logical expression. It's a kind of a representation. It is in such a way that in the truth table, if y is the output, wherever the output function is 1 or wherever the output is said to be true, true in the sense it should be 1, 0 is false. Whenever the output is said to be true or whenever the output is said to be logic 1, for that particular condition you should check what will be the status of inputs, right? Suppose in this example output y, okay, is 1 here. For this one, what are the status of inputs? What are the status of inputs? 0, 0, 1. Okay. How to write that? Using expression or variables. If it is 0 means the variable is a, okay. 0 means it is a bar. Again next, this is 0, so it is b bar. Since it is 1, you just write it as c. So the expression is what? A bar, b bar, c. Okay. This is min term. This is min term. Okay. So last class we have discussed some of the topics of fourth unit. That's regarding analog and digital signals, Boolean algebra, basic gates and universal gates, how the different logics can be implemented with only using NOR gate and AND gates. Continuation to that, some other topics are about K-map, adders, subtractors, followed by flip-flops. All these basic elements are, as I said, they are the integral part in any digital circuit design. So in detail, you will study it very soon in the next semester. Okay. Right now you can just understand what exactly the function performed by those devices. How it performs you can, okay, you will study it later. So starting with the K-map, as I said, it is a graphical method of minimizing the logical expression. Why to minimize? You know that if the logical expression, if it is simple, the circuit becomes simple. If the logical expression is very bigger, then its associated implementation or circuit becomes very complex. That's the reason before implementation the output logical expression has to be reduced. So to the extent how much it is possible, you reduce it. So in order to reduce, we'll use Boolean postulates or Boolean identities. Last class we have seen with certain examples how we can make the expression simple. Similarly, you have one more such simplification method, that is a K-map, Karnaugh map. It is graphical approach. You have certain procedures. So according to that, if you follow those procedures, ultimately you will be with a very simple expression. Apart from K-map, you have many more methods also. Okay. To a certain extent, this also will reduce the complexity of logical expression. Here the steps are very simple. First you need to draw the number of cells, right? And the number of cells, it is totally based on the number of inputs, number of input variables. You will be given with either truth table or certain expression. Looking at that expression or a truth table, I can decide how many input variables. Suppose example, you consider this expression. It is A bar BC plus ABD plus ACB. How many input variables are there? Input variables are 4. Why? Because all the variables has to appear, no, either in complement form or uncomplement form. Right? Here A bar is there, complement form. So variable is A. B and C is there. In this expression D is there. Okay. Here ACB is there. So total number of inputs are 4. Okay. All unique literals are all unique variables, you should take it. Are 0. Check the truth table. Monitor only the output column. Wherever output is 0, you just concentrate on those particular conditions. What will be the input condition for that? And if you write that with the help of logical expression, that itself is the max term. And the way of representing that particular input conditions will be different. I will write it now. See here the output is what? 0 here. Okay. What is the condition of inputs? all are 0 0 0. Now here it's exactly reverse. If a is 0, you should not take it as a bar, that is only for min term. For max term it is totally reverse. If it is 0, then you should take it as a only. Okay, it is a. Plus, what is the value of b? It is 0, then again it is b only. Input variable c value is 0, then again it is c. A plus b plus c is the max term representation. Okay, these are the two representation types. My output expression will be formed using either of one type, either all min terms, either all max term. Okay. Now, to write the output expression for this, the entire truth table in a single line, I can describe it, how my system works. I can describe it in a single line. How? You should write its associated expression. That expression only I am going to implement with a circuit. This is what the design steps. If you have a problem statement, I can better present it with the help of truth table. Truth table will tell you for so and so inputs, these are all the outputs, all combination of inputs, it will tell you the output. Okay, the entire operation of the device, if you describe it with a single expression, then that itself is the logical expression. That only we are going to implement with the circuits. Right? This is how simple design step involves. Right? So now this is the truth table. Just convert the entire truth table into a single expression. Okay? How to write? Okay, it will be written like this. Wherever the output is 1, you take that expression, put it in one line. That itself is output expression. Or else, wherever the output is 0, you take it outside. You do any one of this, either with the 1 or min terms, or else with the zeros. I will go with the logic 1. Wherever output is 1, I will take out that expression. Okay. This one is output y is equal to, output y is 1 here, so it is a bar b bar c. A bar b bar c. Next, you have one more one, it is a bar b c. A bar b c. Next, you have one more one, it is a b bar c. Okay. Next, you have a last one, it is a b c. This is the output expression. This is the output expression. I am writing using min terms. Wherever output is 1, those terms I am writing. Now it is having so many expressions. Straight away, if you draw the circuit for this, you need so many gates. Okay, AND gates, NOT gates, OR gates. Nearly more than 8 or 10 gates are required. I want to make it simple. Then you simplify it. So now I will use this approach, graphical approach. That's a K-map. Okay. How many inputs are there? 3 inputs. How many cells are required? 8 cells. Okay. So this is my template. 8 cells. That you need to choose it. And you have to represent those 8 cells like this. This is variable A, B and C are 2 variables. That takes the value 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. I have written like this. And similarly A is, it takes either 0 or 1. What I mean to say is, if you have a 3 input variables, totally there is 8 combinations For every combination, you must provide a space. So that's what 8 cells. Every input combination, I should be in a position to locate. So I need 8 cells because 8 combination, 2 to the power of 3 is 8. And this is what the pattern like this. This is A, it takes either 0 or 1. BC 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. You should follow this pattern only. Why? Because the one more rule of the K-map is, if you check the cells, K-map cells side by side, it should be differed by 1 bit. That's the rule. Okay, if you check cells side by side, it should be differed by 1 bit. So its meaning is, see here, these two cells are side by side, and this cell is represented with 0, this cell is represented with 1. So they are differed by 1 bit. Right? This and this cell are adjacent. Okay. Check its value whether they are differed by 1 bit or not. First bit is 0, here also first bit is 0. They are same. Second bit is 0, second bit is 1. They are differed. How many bits are differed? Only one time. Okay. So this and this cell is differed by 1 bit. Check this. 0 here, 1 here, but second bit remains same. Again differed by 1 bit. This and this you check. First bit is 1, this also 1, same. Second bit is changed. Like that, you have to designate the input values. Side by cells are adjacent cells should be differed by 1 bit. Okay. You can check in all the cases. Here also same. So 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. This pattern you should use. Totally 8 cells. Okay. Now those cells has to be located with ones and zeros. Either min terms or max terms. I will draw a K-map for this. Wherever output is 1, those cells you identify with logic 1, remaining with zeros. Here output is 1, take this value 0 0 1, 0 0 1, where it is A is 0, B is also 0, C is 1. So 0 0 1. Okay, this cell you have to make it as 1. This should be 1. Next again check it. Output is 1 here. 0 1 1. Check it. A is 0. B and C both are 1 1. Where it is? Here. So 1. B and C both are 1 1 for this and this also. But A should be 0, no? So that's what the top row you should take, not bottom, because bottom row is having A as 1, but my A is 0. So this can uniquely identify the cell. Okay. Again this is 1 here, 1 0 1. Check it, where that combination? A is 1. It means you should come the bottom row, because top row A is 0. 1. Where is the next two bits? 0 1. Where the 0 1 is there? Here. So this bit. Okay. Next last one is 1 is there, where all the inputs are 1 1 1. A is 1, B is 1, C is 1. Okay. It means A is 1, B and C both are 1 1 here. This is what a representation of min terms, or locating min terms, are logic 1. Remaining cells, straight away you write it as 0. The remaining cells, straight away you write as 0. This is second step. Draw the number of cells, locate each cell with either ones or zeros. Once you do this, a very next level is, third step is, grouping of the cells. You should form the groups in such a way that while grouping, all the cells must be adjacent. They should be side by side. One cell is here, one cell is there. You are not allowed to group it. If you want to group it, those cells should be adjacent. They should be side by side. Okay? And the grouping volume will be in such a way that you should group with the two cells. We call it as pair. Pair. You can group it with a 4 number of adjacent cells. We call it as quad. You can group 8 cells. We should have the value of 1. The grouping is with respect to logic 1. Every cell has to be identified with ones and zeros. So the grouping should be always with respect to logic 1s, provided that the cells should be side by side. And the volume should be either it may be 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells, 16 cells, okay, like that. And number of one cell is also possible. If nothing can be possible, then alone single cell you can group, okay. Quad, if the total number of cells are 8, then it is octet. It is octet. Or else 16 cells you can club it if they are side by side and all the cells represent logic 1. The grouping should be only for logic 1s. You cannot group some cells with logic 1 and some cells with logic 0. No. If you group it, all the inside cells should have the value 1 and they should be side by side. If that option is there, you can group it. Right? So grouping is very important step here. Once you locate ones and zeros, and you should check it, analyze it. Is the cells are side by side? Is the value remains same? I mean 1, 1 everywhere. Okay. So if that is the case, you can go for grouping. And you should always look for a higher order grouping. If you have 8 cells, all 8 cells have value 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That time, even I can create group of 1 or a group of 2 or a group of 4 also. They are all smaller order groupings. But if the number of cells, 8 cells are side by side and value is 1, it's a bigger order grouping. You should prefer first. Always higher order grouping will give you a very, very simple expression. If 8 cells are side by side and all are logic 1, and if you go for a pair kind of a grouping, 2-2 grouping, if you do it, expression becomes lengthier again. Right? So always prefer higher order grouping. Okay? I have already located ones and zeros. What kind of grouping is possible? See here, 4 cells are value logic 1 and grouping can be done always with respect to logic 1, right? Then, is all the cells are side by side? Yes. This and this are side by side, this and this is side by side, this cell is and this cell is side by side, even these two are adjacent. So all the 4 cells are adjacent with each other. In fact, all the cells are logic 1 also. You can go for grouping. What will be the volume of the grouping? It's a quad type of grouping, 4 cells. So group it. All 4 cells, you group like this. Okay. Then you should write an associated expression. That expression we are calling it as a prime implicant. Prime implicant. Okay. Your output expression normally have certain prime implicants. How to write the expression? It's very simple. This is the grouping. Consider these two rows. A value is 0 here, A value is 1 here. That will get cancelled. Because you know one of the identity, A into A bar is always 0. You have that identity. Okay? A into A bar is always 0. So A is 0 here, it is 1 here, that will get cancelled. Horizontal is over, now check it vertically. This is 0, it means it is B, it's a B bar. Here it is 1, it is B, again B into B bar will get cancelled. Here the expression is C and this is C. Okay? So it means what? The expression is just C. That is the final expression. Output expression is just C. Got this? This is the prime implicant. Since this is only one kind of a grouping and all the number of ones are over. If still you have some more number of ones, that also you should group. Every logic 1 in the K-map cells you should group. Okay, if at all not grouping is possible with quad, pair or octet, at least you should group it alone. Okay, then you just take out the expression for every grouping. That is the final expression. Got this? Luckily here only have a 4 logic ones and all are covered in a single shot. So only one expression, output expression y is equal to C. Got this? Initially I have written one bigger expression having 4 terms. The entire expression is actually equivalent to just a C. You can realize it with the truth table also. See, your output is 1 wherever the value C is 1. C is 1 here, output is 1. C is 1 here, output is 1. C is 0 here, output is 0. C is 1 here, 1. This C column replicates here. Okay? So that's what output is. Basically it is a representation of variable C. How the variable C is changing, in the same fashion the entire system output will change. That is the meaning actually. This is the interpretation. Got this? Y is equal to C. This is the K-map simplification method. Suppose for 4 cells, if these are the cells, okay, if they are all zeros, okay, how to do the grouping? Grouping should be always with respect to 1. Some cells are logic 1 here, and are the cells are adjacent? Yes, they are all side by side. Do the grouping of quad. 1 quad. Is all other cells are covered? You have some more logic 1 cells here. That also you should cover. Do one more grouping because all the cells are side by side. Okay. Write the expression for this and this. That's it. That's all your job. So output expression y is, again, first you consider horizontally. Okay, this and this row you should consider because in the grouping those two are covered. 0 and 0 they are same, whereas 0 and 1 they are differed. Okay, it means B into B bar it is. It is basically 0. So expression is just A bar. Because it is 0, A appears in a complement form, so it is A bar. A bar. Now check it vertically. C is 0, here also 0. So it means it is C bar. Whereas D is 0 here, D is 1. D into D bar will get cancelled. So the expression for this entire grouping is A bar C bar. Plus one more grouping here. Same thing. Check it horizontally, vertically. If they are differed by 1 bit, those variables will cancel. Remaining you keep as it is, based on whether it is 0 or 1. If it is 0, complement. If it is 1, no complement. Horizontally you check it, 1 and 1 same, so the variable is a. B is 1 here, 0 is get cancelled, check vertically, this 1 and 1 represents C, whereas this 1 and 0 will get cancelled, so it is AC. So it is A bar C bar plus AC. It is basically a function of what? X nor. A X nor, no? Okay, that expression it is. This is what the simplification using K-map. If the number of ones are side by side, then straight away go for grouping. And if higher order grouping is possible, don't go for smaller order grouping. Okay? Always higher order grouping will give you a very less number of variables in the expression. Got this? Any doubts here? In detail you will study it in the next semester. Now you understand only this much. There will be couple of cells based on the input. Every cell has to be identified with either 1 or a 0, and you have to do some kind of encircling grouping with respect to only logic 1. And if you want to do the grouping, they should be adjacent, they should be side by side. If that is the case, go for grouping, extract the expression, keep it all in a one line. That is the final expression. Got this? We will do many more examples, some different kind of examples for this in the next semester. Okay. This is a graphical approach of reducing the expression. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. Next part, adders and subtractors. Again, they are some type of a circuit or a combinational circuit, we call it as. Actually in the digital you have two different types of circuits. One is combinational, one more is sequential. Difference is very simple. A combinational circuits are one whose output, it depends only on the present input what you are applying. Okay? The moment I will apply the input, straight away it will produce the output. Such circuits you can call it as a combinational circuit. Okay? What about sequential? Sequential is the moment you apply the input, suddenly you will not get the output. There will be a delay. Why? Because the output of a sequential circuit, it always depends on two components. One is the present input what you are applying. One more is some past history of input. Okay? Some past status. Okay? It needs. So it depends on the present as well as past inputs. That's what it makes a delay in producing the output. Those circuits we call it as a sequential circuit. Okay? So combinational don't have any feedback, but sequential there will be a feedback. Right? You have a couple of differences among those two. But now what I mean to say is adder, subtractor, they are combinational, whereas the next part flip-flop is a sequential. Okay, just keep this in mind. So there will be kind of a difference, you will find it in the design. So adder, subtractor. In the adder, see, adder basically adds the bits. Adder, what is the function of that adder? It adds the bits. Since in a digital computer there will be an arithmetic and logical unit, ALU, that's main heart of the computer, where computing will be performed, a computation will be taking place. The computation involves addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, rotation, shifting, many more functions, right? So addition also one among them, and it is very, very important task. We will come to know how exactly it plays a role in different applications. So to add the bits, you need adder, simple. To subtract the bits, I need subtractor. Since everything is to be done with respect to ones and zeros, okay, you should perform certain operations on those data. So adder is one such device where it can add the bits, right? And always the addition will be like this: 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is sum is 1, 1 plus 0 is sum is 1, 1 plus 1 is sum is 0, but carry is also is 1. Okay, this is the arithmetic addition, not logical addition, because in the OR gate truth table, 1 plus 1 you are written as 1 only. That's a logical addition, but this is arithmetic addition. That's what adder adds the bits. If it adds 2 bits, then it is half adder. If it adds 3 bits, then it is a full adder. You have 2 types. Okay. One is half adder. One more is full adder. Half adder is having 2 inputs, 1 output. It adds 2 bits. That's it. Okay, and it will produce sum and carry. Okay, the outputs are what? Sum and it is carry. They are the input, this is the output, right? So inputs, totally 4 combinations. Just write all that combination: 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, both the inputs may be 0, both the inputs may be 1, or it may be 0 1 or 1 0. This. What is the output? 0 plus 0, sum is 0, carry is 0. 0 plus 1, sum is 1, carry is 0. 1 plus 0, sum is 1, carry is 0. 1 plus 1, sum is 0, carry is 1. Okay, this is the truth table of half adder. Half adder is the adder which can add only 2 bits. Full adder is the adder which can add 3 bits. Okay, but adder always produces 2 outputs, remember. One is a sum, one is a carry. Right? Okay. And if you want to write the output expression, you have 2 expressions. What is the output expression? See, in the truth table, for all input combination, what is the response you will write? Keeping in mind the entire things, one summarized simple expression I will write it. That will describe you the entire truth table. Right? It is something like you will use some kind of a tagline. No, the tagline itself will tell you a certain kind of associated name. Right? It is something like this. The entire behavior of the device will be described by a single expression. Okay, we call it as a modeling, mathematical modeling, right? This is a logical modeling, right? Okay, you have 2 expression, sum and carry. How to write the expression? Always remember to write the expression. Okay, so wherever the output is 1, if you take out that, then it is a min-term expression. If wherever the output is 0, if you take that expression, it is a max term. Two kind of representations are there. But we'll use only one particular notation, that is wherever output is 1, that I will pick. Okay. How to write sum expression? For sum, output is 1 here. Take this conditions 0, 1. How to write? This variable is a, since it is in 0, it's a complement, a bar. Next, this is 1, so it is b. Plus, you should use plus. For every combination, you write the expression, then plus. Then output is 1 here. What is this? A, b bar. Is any other combinations are 1? No, only 2. Leave it, 2 expressions. Okay? A bar b plus ab bar. Heard this expression before? A bar b plus ab bar. Which function? XOR function. A XOR b, no? Right? Okay. A XOR b. It means if you have a XOR gate, I can implement the adder. Right? We'll see apart from XOR what all we need. Sum is over. Sum, one output will be produced using this. What about carry? Carry. Carry is, again check where the output is 1. Carry is 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, discard all. 1 here, write its expression. If it is 1 here, take this, AB. So carry expression is what? AB. It is AB. Got this? This is what? Sum and carry expression. How to implement with a circuit? I need XOR gate and it is having 2 inputs. A and B are 2 inputs and output of this is always an XOR operation, A bar B plus AB bar. So this expression, entire expression I can get it with a single gate, A XOR B. So this is the expression for what? Sum. One output will be produced in that way. How to produce the carry? Carry is AB. Okay. A is here, you take the same thing. B is here. Use one AND gate. This. And the output is carry. Okay. Simple. Based on the logical expression, you should choose the gates and use it. And this is using basic gates I have used. You can implement this with the universal gates also. With only using NAND and only using NOR. You just try it. That becomes a practice for you. Got this? This is producing one output, sum. This will produce one more output, that is a carry. And you know this system is having 2 inputs, A and B. Okay, this is my circuit. Okay, you put in a box. You just forget about the square box. How many inputs are there? 2 inputs. How many outputs are there? 2 outputs.